Hi, I'm artist Andrea Kirk, the Art Chick. Welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I literally have a treat for you today. We are painting ice cream. So get out your art supplies and let's begin. For this project, I used both craft acrylic paints as well as artist grade acrylic paints in a variety of colors. Along with those, you will need an 8x10 canvas, paper towels, a disposable plate and cup, and a brown Prismacolor and an eraser. Also, I would suggest having acrylic gloss gel medium or retarder. I've also provided a list of colors that you will need with your acrylic paints. Don't stress if you can't find these exact colors. You can substitute other similar colors for those that I listed. These are the types and sizes of paintbrushes I used, but feel free to use whatever makes you feel most comfortable. Okay, let's get started. Take your brown Prismacolor pencil and begin drawing your ice cream cone. Begin with an upside down triangle. At the top, draw a curved line from left to right. Next, add wavy lines to give shape to the bottom of the ice cream scoop. Now add the base for the top scoop, using wavy lines once again. From there, you will draw a big half circle from left to right for a perfectly shaped top scoop. Next, add a crack running down the middle and to the side of the cone. To mix your colors for the background, squeeze out each swatch as shown. Watch carefully the order in which I mix each shade and follow along. When mixing colors, I usually mix at least 5 shades or more for each subject I paint. It also helps your artwork look more realistic. In addition to these colors, I added gloss medium gel, cerulean blue, and ultramarine blue acrylic paints to my palette. Watch as I also blend swatches of paint with these added colors. Begin painting the background by applying multiple shades of paint you mixed. Be sure to use both the blue and purple shades. Notice how the paint is lighter up and around the top of the ice cream scoop. Next, begin mixing your paint for your cone. Apply your colors as shown and follow along as I do. Notice how I'm using all of the colors to mix, including the blue. In total, I mixed 8 different shades ranging from light to dark. Begin by applying the lightest shade on the left, gently stroking up and down. Make sure the edge against the background is nice and clean. Next, add your midtone through the middle, gently blending into your lighter shade. To the right of that, add the next darkest color. Follow along the left side of the crack. With the reddish chocolate brown, run a shadow up along the left of the crack, all the way to the top. Take the light sandy shade and some white and paint along the top of the cone, right where it meets the ice cream. Also use the white to highlight along the left side of the cone. On the right side of the crack, paint the darkest shade of brown, getting slightly lighter toward the right side of the cone. Accent the edge of the crack with the orange shade we mixed, and with white at the very top. Also on the right side of the cone, be sure to accent with some gray. To begin adding the cone texture, take your fine-tipped brush and paint several dashes of light brown on an angle from top to bottom. It will look like a road. Then, turn each of the lines into upside-down L's. Next, add a bottom line to each one, turning them into C's. Then take white paint and close off each C, making complete squares all the way down. Now to the left of your squares, again take your white paint and paint white squares parallel to the ones just completed. Take gray paint and add a line on the left side of the second, third, and fourth squares. On the fifth square down, add a gray shadow. Then, with the gray paint, add 3 more squares below. Now take your white paint and add a white diagonal line from the bottom up. With the same white paint, add a line on the top and bottom of each square. Taking your golden shade of paint, further continue each of your lines from left to right. Then begin a grid pattern with lines crisscrossing. Next, accentuate the top of the cone with the same golden shade. In the bottom left corner of the cone, add 4 more brown squares and a half a square above that. Take sienna brown and add upside down L's on the far right row of squares, and add a zigzag pattern to the right of those. Continue shading where needed with the sienna brown to fully accentuate the cone texture. On the far right side of the cone, take your golden brown and paint a row of diagonal lines from left to right. Then, on the opposite side, add more diagonal lines from left to right, creating another downward grid pattern. Highlight with your ivory and grayish blue paint, and then add a dark shadow on the right side of the crack, as well as underneath the bottom scoop of ice cream. Now watch closely as I add some finishing details that will help make the cone look even more realistic. And there you have it, a beautiful realistic cone. Now let's begin the ice cream process. Again, display your colors as shown and then begin mixing them together to create some beautiful shades for your ice cream scoops. Be sure to blend a beautiful shade of light blue. It will be used for your highlights and also for your reflected light. Notice how I also mixed a little bit of pink in it. It's also crucial that you mix some deep reds for your shaded areas. Mix all of your colors to look similar to mine, and then let's get started on our ice cream. When starting out your ice cream, be sure to shade in the darkest areas first. Begin with black and then add your deep reds and pinks. Notice how I'm carefully blending each shade into the next. This will give you a smooth, solid backdrop for your heavy texture and highlights. Now begin adding your light pinks and your purples. Again, be sure to blend those edges together to give a nice smooth finish. Really emphasize your bright highlights against your deep shadows for a strong contrast of both light and dark. Now that I have my base colors established, I can begin to add my lighter shades as well as my heavy texture. This is a fun process. Watch carefully and follow along with me. When applying texture, use a series of dots and lines to make the ice cream appear more lifelike. You want it to look as though you can reach out and grab it and eat it. Notice how the light purples and blues serve as reflected light. It's the reflection of the surrounding background that illuminates the ice cream, creating a beautiful three-dimensional look. You can also tell that the light source is shining down from above, as the ice cream is lightest at the top and also on the edges. Honestly, I don't think anyone would ever guess that we used craft paints for this project. But it just goes to show that you don't have to spend a fortune to create beautiful art. I don't know about all of you, but now that I'm finished, I'm hungry and I'm gonna go get Thanks Thanks for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed this project as much as I did. As you can clearly see, I didn't waste any time putting it out on my entry table for decoration. Be sure to like and share, and also subscribe today for more amazing projects to come. See you next time.